Hello guys, welcome to Cap Industries. Today I'm going to do a very short video on what it's like to experience what we get here in Melbourne, Australia, which I like to call mud rain. So this is my 2008 Golf GTI and I literally washed it about 2 days ago and it came up really nice. But over the last couple of days it started raining again. And the rain from in Melbourne, it comes along when you get a northerly wind. So across the northern side of Australia, all the wind comes and it collects all this dust from the desert in this red dust from Australia. And it goes across, it collects in the rain clouds and just pumps down and absolutely destroys your car. It's really horrible. It's one of the worst things about living here. And personally, I think it's probably the only bad thing about living here. That and the cold in winter. But I thought I'd give you a quick look at it, show you how I fix it. I'm going to give it a quick wash and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. And yeah, Melbourne's a pretty cool place to live, all except for this. So as I said, I washed the car only a couple of days ago and then we got hit with one of those northerly winds and rain. And here is the result. After washing the car, and you know you're quite happy with how it's looking, and then this stuff happens, it's so depressing. Especially if you're a bit of a car lover. Mind you, I don't even think you'd have to be a car lover to be annoyed when this happens. It's an amazing phenomenon, and I'm from Perth, Western Australia, and I've never experienced anything like this. So for me coming here and living in Melbourne, it's quite unusual. So today I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up. And it'll probably rain again tomorrow. Let's hope not. So firstly, before even looking at your sponges and buckets and soaps, you have to give it a proper rinse off with a hose. Get most of that stuff off. You can see it's quite a warm day today, so I really shouldn't even be washing it in the sun. But I need to get it off. I should start at the top. So as you can see, even after a pretty full-on rinse, the paint still has heaps of that mud and dirt still on it. So this is where a 2-bucket method of washing really does come into its own, and it's an absolute must after this mud rain. So what I recommend, and some dudes go full on crazy with multiple different attachments and things inside their bucket, like grit guards, which is a really good idea. But if you're like me, you're a bit of an amateur, you don't really care that much. At least 2 buckets. One is a rinse bucket where you rinse off your wash mitt after you've washed down the car. So wash, like soap up with your wash mitt, and then wash the car, and then come and rinse your mitt before putting it back into the soap. So this way, at least you're trying to get most of the dirt off your rinse mitt before putting it back onto the paint. So let's do that. So with your 2 buckets rinsed out from any of the dirt in the last wash, make sure you've done that. Get yourself some car soap, whatever you've got. Chuck a bunch in it. Foam it up. Get it foamed up and then put your wash mitt in. And then fill it the rest up. Then fill up your rinse bucket. And before you start soaping it up again on the car, give the car a real good spritz and really wet it up. And get your wash mitt with a heap of soap, straight on. Try to go in straight lines. Keep flipping it over. Just do a little bit and then rinse it out as much as you can. Just push it around with your hand. Wring it out. Back to your wash bucket and then back on. Rinse it out as much as you can. Always keep rinsing it out. Keep going like that until you've done your whole car, and then we'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so I've completely washed down the whole car now, and I'm just giving it a final rinse off. You can see that my car, most of the water is beading off quite nicely. That's because recently I just did a full wax job on the car using a Chemical Guys product. I'm going to be doing more of those videos soon on how to actually wax and protect your car. But even with all the wax in the world, you'll still see that they all get dirty. And you'll also see dudes walking around using those foam cannons. And don't be fooled, those foam cannons, they're cool, but they don't wash your car. They just give it a quick rinse. Basically what we did with the hose, only a little bit more. So there's nothing that will stop you from still having to physically wash your car. I get sad when I see people buying them and think that that's what's going to help them to wash their cars. It helps a little bit, but you still have to wash them. Alright, so now, the other thing I want to really mention as well is to always make sure you hit every section of the car. You sometimes see people that they've just washed their car and you'll see big sections of like patches where they haven't physically washed with the mitt. You've got to make sure you go over the whole thing and physically wash every section of the car. And the other thing as well, look at how dirty, I'm not actually sure you can see in the picture, but this water that we use to rinse the mitt in, it is really dirty. So it shows you how all that stuff would have been going straight back into the car and scratching up your car. That's why we use the 2-bucket method. All right, let's quickly rinse it off and wring it down with a chamois. All right, so now we've got our chamois. This is one I use. I do recommend using a better quality one, but for this video, I'm just going with what everyday people have. So just lightly get it on and drag it across. You'll see it doesn't take every bit off, but that's where you have to keep wringing this out. Wring it out, wipe it again, try to go in straight lines and use the weight of the rag to actually pull the water off. Just keep wringing it out. Because it's so sunny, it's very hard for me to film and do it at the same time, so I'll show you the finished result in the end. So there it is, much better. And even with filming, the whole process is really quick. It only took me like 20 minutes max to fully wash the car, get the hose out, get the products out. So please do yourself a favor, wash your own car. Don't go to those magic car wash places that scratch the hell out of your car and don't do a good job. Just go down, buy yourself some products from Supercheap or Autobarn or Chemical Guys or some car detailing place. Spend 20-25 minutes and give your car a real nice. Thank you very much for watching this little video. I really hope that it helped out in some way. Maybe gave you a couple of tips on how to look after your car nicely. The rest of the video is just going to be me talking a little bit about my business and showing you the interior fire extinguisher brackets that I make for these vehicles. And actually I make them for a real large range of vehicles. So if you'd like to stick around, please check that out. And in the meantime, if you don't want to watch that, that's also cool, but please subscribe, maybe give it a like and a comment and tell me what you think of this little procedure. And thank you so much. So as I was saying, my name's Russell Cap and I run my own business called Cap Industries. I make and I sell fire extinguisher brackets so that they can go inside vehicles, so you can have a fire extinguisher inside your car. Why would you want to have a fire extinguisher in your car? Just purely safety. Fire safety is something that's really often overlooked in vehicles. We all have insurance that we hope never to use. This is another type of insurance that I hope you'll never have to use, but it can potentially save your life. And I know that my products here have saved many cars from going up in flames, and why not have one in your car? If worse comes to worse, you can always use it to smash out a window, or you can use it against would-be robbers if they're trying to carjack you. Who knows? Give it a go. Please check me out on my website. It's www.cap.industries, or just Google search fire extinguisher brackets for vehicles and look up Cap Industries. Thank you so much. Please check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and have a nice day. Thank you so much. Bye. Here's one installed in my Golf GTI. In fact, I run two. It's such a great little safety feature.